ladies and gentlemen. We are 10 minutes late to broadcasting today. I was at work, making money, trying to live. But we are here, 50 minutes left here at Valencia. Currently the running order is P Liga or Ledger in P1, Al Warner P2 and Williams P3. So two of the top front runners for the season's championship still there. Not sure what has happened to Niels Baslia. As we look on the scoring board, he is down in P18. Not like him, I'm sure he qualified far up. I'm not sure what the qualifying order was. So something has happened to Baslia. I think I might check his car out to see for damage, if there was an issue. Let's find him. Baslia currently running P1 in the championship. Any positions Williams and Levi Warner gain on him, they will be closing the gap. Let's find him. Alright, let's inspect this car. Looks clean. Not sure what has happened to him. Car not looking too damaged. Yep, so not sure. Tamega running P4. Also, very fast driver with some good results this season. Has missed a race, which hasn't helped his chances for the championship. But Warner sitting pretty with Williams. I think as it goes right now, one of those two will take the lead in the championship if they stay as they are running. I believe Williams and Liga started P1, P2, in which order I do not know. But Warner has stolen a position, it looks like. Currently 2 seconds up the road from M. Williams. Liga pulling away with a 3-second gap. Tamenga for P4. Harrell, very quick driver, very consistent. Well, has gained the consistency. Unfortunately, horrible week for him last week. Tournier, unfortunately, picking up a drive-through already for track limits 10 minutes in. That is not good. Valencia, a very difficult track. Ladva running P8, looking strong for Sturga. First time on Valencia for him, running in P9, and Richards, his Thatch teammate, just behind him. Boschian, P11. Cork running the Porsche in the P12. Hussein, P13 on his season return to Thatch GT. Has been off for the wheel for a while. Ivrich, Niels running one in P15. Baslia gaining position since we last checked in on him in P16. So, race on. The gaps. Liga does look to be pulling away. A couple of attempts per lap in the Ferrari. Warner still chasing him down. And Williams holding the gap at 2 seconds. Tamenga gap is kind of holding at 3, pulling away from the rest of the field. We'll stay on board with Williams as he looks to chase the Ford Mustang GT of Levi Warner. Lot to cram in there. I again apologise for the late stream. Was working. Huge implications as we currently stand with Niels Baslia down in the annals of the grid. Pappy, I don't know if you watched the first 10 minutes of the race. If you can, Pappy is in the Twitch chat. If you could let me know what's happened, Wilson. What have I missed? Where did they qualify? I'm assuming it was Liga and Williams P1, P2. I'm not sure what happened to Niels Baslia down at the bottom of the table. Okay, so I have got an update. Do you know who he... Okay. Do you know what happened to who Niels hit? Or seems like Niels Baslia has had a collision with another car in Span. One for the stewards. See a lot of cars on the grid today. 26 drivers on the grid. It's a huge turnout for Thatch, probably the largest grid of the season so far. Liga really starting to pull away. Almost 3 seconds the gap. Tamenga's found a little bit of pace this lap. So, top 4 really running away with the race. Let's go elsewhere to see if we can find some action. Like we do have a large gaggard of cars led by the 315 Ferrari of Mario Riches, being chased down by Boss. Something has happened to Tournier, has lost a few positions there, has dropped down, unless that is a relative bug. Not sure what's happening there. I think that's just a relative bug. I don't think that is... No, it is correct. That is his position, down in P16. So another issue. Flochion. I did not say that right. I know I didn't. Dudek, a name I do not recognise, so that's probably a debut for Dudek in the BMW. Currently running P7, strong performance so far, chasing down the Ford Mustang GT of Ladva. Current gap about 6 tenths, I'd say. Once they cross the line, maybe back to 7 tenths. Oh, that's a shame. What has happened to Baslia there? As Ladva does go wide, that will be a track limit. I don't think he slowed sufficiently. Maybe just got away with it. That's putting Dudek off into the left-hander of turn 2. Looks like Warner is pulling the gap from Williams, up to 3-second gap now. Temenga is still closing in with a 2-second gap now. So top 4 all still not decided. One little mistake from Liga and they're all back at him. Looks like Riches may have had a moment. Hussein, Cork and Boss are all past him. Sander Vesterga now up to 8th place, running strong. Let's go and find a battle on board. Rodriguez just put off by the yellow backside of Kevin Minderhood in that Mercedes AMG. Wilson is saying it was a great start by Vesterga. I have no doubt the most improved man in Fatch this season compared to last season. Very comfortable on the wheel, and he will put the same lap times in lap after lap after lap. Very rarely puts a foot wrong. So if you make a mistake, he will capitalise. Corral 33.4, running a P5th. Temenga starting to get away with him. Cork, the Greek, being chased down by the 7.7 Ferrari of Hussein and 3.15 Ferrari of Riches. All putting in very similar lap times. Riches just taking a 10th out of both the drivers ahead of him. Let's change this view to something a bit more aesthetically pleasing. Levi Warner still slowly, lap by lap, pulling a 10th over Williams. You want to see this. This could leapfrog him up to P1. He is 9 points off at the top of the table off of Niels Baslia, who looks not to be scoring big points today, unless he can come through the crowd. Francis running P23. Vorel chasing him. Niels looks to have missed out on a few positions. Going wide, does hold the car very nicely to prevent the spin. Dudek right onto the back of Ladva now in the 420 Blaze It BMW. Very green livery as well. I think we know what condition this man's in. It seems to be working for him though. Maybe an off track there. Robert picking up his first sub P10 position last week at Spa with all the carnage. We'll be looking to improve here to chase us down the Mustang of Mark. So Temenga lost a little bit more time to Williams, was pulling, big slide into the right. That will give Williams a few seconds. Pushing just a little bit too hard. You do have 40 minutes, Anton. Make them count. Baslia up to 14th now, chasing down the number 7, 296 of Hivrich. Let's see if we can stay on board with that. Let's take a breather here. Lovely exit by Baslia. Goes short. Will he send it? I think he's trying to put Hivrich off. He does maintain the inside on the curb. Maintains the grip. Put up the inside. We're going to be last little late breakers here, I think. Hivrich not letting him have it. Fair play. You'd like to see battles here. Nice clean battle there. Baslia won't want to get... so I'm being told that Baslia's incident towards the start of the race was with the man he's chasing. Maybe a bit of fear coming into it for Baslia. Won't want to repeat. Patience, patience, patience. Maybe something that Landon Norris at the weekend could have had a bit more of. Semenga comes in for his mandatory pit. Going early, looking for the undercut. Big slide by Baslia in the dirty air around turn 1. Brakes as late as he dares into turn 2. Gets the exit, but will have to concede the inside. Dirty air really playing a factor for Baslia. I do expect him to get the move done in the next couple of laps, or maybe. Usually likes to run a 50-50 stint, so half an hour and a half an hour. Last few races I think he's run a long first stint, but this might make him think otherwise. The undercut may be beneficial here for Baslia. Get round Hivrich, does have a 6-second gap to Richards, so obviously has the pace. See what he does towards the end of this lap. Obviously doesn't want to get too close to Hivrich after their incident. White flag above. Looks like a car in front has had an issue on the sausage there. It's the 7.7 Ferrari of Hussein. Back up to speed. Big slide for Hivrich. That will give Baslia. So the long stint is still on for Baslia with that. Next car ahead is his Thatch teammate Hussein. Let's chuck in what's going on the rest of the grid. So, Warner has opened up a 5.5 second gap to Williams, but Liga still running very strong in P1. Gaining, gaining, gaining. Ural's now up to P4 as Semenga has pitted. Ladva unfortunately has picked up a drive-through on these track limits. Very harsh around Valencia, very tight track. The racing line is where you want to be at all times. Otherwise, those white lines will get you. You would have thought they've been watching Cota at the weekend with the F1 and would have had that on their minds. Dudek still pushing close behind Ladva. But obviously Ladva will now have to serve the drive-through and then a separate mandatory stop. You cannot do both at the same time. Versterga probably about 7-8 seconds off of the back of Dudek, 7.5 seconds as he comes through the sector timer. Boss pushing him a second behind. Versterga up to P7. Pappy, if you're still there, do you know where Versterga started? Position. You can see it. Oh, I can't access qualifying, unfortunately. Robert is still moving up the grid to P15. Yeah, Baslia taking almost a second and a half out of Hussein as the recovery drive. It has happened a few times this season with Baslia. He's found himself with a bad start and had to put in one hell of a recovery drive. We've seen it in the GT4 seasons a few times. We know what he's got in his locker. Very consistent, fast driver. We'll look to limit the damage that this will cause to his lead at the top of the table. Looks like none of the drivers being able to match the pace of the three front runners. Semenga is there still, I guess. We'll have to see what the undercut does for him. He was 3 seconds off the back of Williams when he pitted. Voral is coming for his mandatory stop.
It is quite wild the pace that Liga does manage to find for qualifying and the race. Comes out of nowhere, performs well. I think if I'm trying to remember where his maiden win was, it took everyone by surprise. Very nice on the apexes there, sticking close to the inside. Stop go for Rodriguez in the 15 Ferrari, really starting to do some damage to the grid, those track limits. Cork serves his mandatory stop. Herrera with work to do, 15-second gap ahead, and Dudek is behind him. Ladva obviously pitting for the drive-through penalty and giving Dudek clean air on his debut race here, the Fat GT. Drive-through for track limits to the 37 car, is that a new penalty? Vorel, I think he's just come out of the pits as well, that's unfortunate. Well, that might be for something else. So that's Levi Warner in the pit. He always scares me when he comes in. Never know if he gets that thing stopped at 50 miles an hour quick enough. Checking with Baslia. Baslia found himself in some action here with Hussein and Mario Riches. 3 Fats drivers in a row. Baslia just kissing the sausage. Stay on board for this. Warner has come to a stop. Lots of penalties on the board right now. Just try and find Baslia as quickly as I can. There we go. Hasn't looked back since he's passed Hivrich. Big gap forming. Now, two drivers in front will not give up positions easily. We all know Mario Riches doesn't. Will defend to the death. Let's go wide on the exit. Still 32 minutes to go. Track limits is something that everyone needs to be thinking about. Baslia trying to get on the throttle as early as possible. Looking for the cutbacks in each corner. Baslia will want to clear this traffic as soon as possible. It's Boschian P5, well I think net P6, possibly, actually it might be net P7, P8, all the way 30 seconds up the road from this battle. Baslia does get a good run, he's going to opt to stay on the racing line though, maximise the exit. Just to get a great exit and we'll get the slipstream. The slipstream in front of you, oh okay, ops. The undercut on these two cars might be wise. A 50-50 stint there, that is probably the smart choice from Baslia. He knows Mario Riches all too well, knows he'll fight him to the death. So Williams and Liga still out, but Liga has pulled a 14-second gap on Williams. It's quite something. That's quite some consistent pace. See Harrell, Baslia, Hivrich all in the pits, the same with Bruce. Warner coming out P9. Where is Tamenga? Tamenga. Oh, very confused because it looks like, actually I don't think those timings are right. Yeah, looks like a 17-18 second gap between Warner and Tamenga, so something has happened to Tamenga. What I do not know. One is there on the track. Yeah, very large gap between the two. Williams now comes into his pit. Liga opting to stay out for long. Vesterga has closed up all the way to Boschian now. So, stay on board with him. Man is flying. Bit of a slow lap for him there. Maybe lost the position to Boschian that lap actually, potentially. So we'll do a little bit of ASMR now, and we will go quiet whilst we're on board, just to see if he is gaining or losing time. So it looks like we do have a retiree. Tonya has departed. Obviously we did see him drop down the pecking order. Not his day, unfortunately. Not sure what has happened to him. So Williams has now come out of the pit. I don't know what's happened, but Warner seems to have had an incredible pit stop. Absolutely incredible pit stop. Has gained a lot of time on Williams and Temenga, like a scary amount of time. Williams has lost time. Well, no, Williams and Temenga still sitting whereabouts where they were when Temenga pitted. But Warner, I don't know how he's done it. 15 seconds up the road from Williams. He was 5 seconds. We last checked. And we're last in behind each other. Be interesting to see what League has managed to do with his long stint. See if Liga is coming into the pits, so I think we go back to Warner, see how close he can get. Does have to get past Robert, who is yet to pit. Warner won't like this, he won't like this traffic ahead of him. Does have the long start finish straight coming up. On Warner, he will probably send it into the left if he gets close enough. And he does. But leaving him plenty of space to do the move. So where will he come out then?
Liga in the pit. Liga is heading out of the pit now. That. Where's the gap? Still tumbling down the gap. Wonderful few out laps from Warner. Has closed the gap to 3.5. Unfortunately, we do know the Mustang tyres are fabled before going off quickly. So we'll see what he will do. This is probably the lowest TC I've ever seen Levi Warner run, so maybe that will breathe some life into some tyres. Maybe he is thinking about the long game. Liga will still be looking to get his tyres up to temperature, but clear track ahead for him. Temenga, 4-second gap to Williams. Williams does look to have some good pace out of the pit lane. So Dudek has moved his way up to P6 as well on his debut. Strong push. We're checking with Baslia on his recovery. If we can find him. Vesterga sitting pretty in P7. Great start for Vesterga. Really putting in the pace, but Dudek does look to be a good 15 seconds up the road, so Vesterga just really have to race his race now, keep that position. Baslia is up to P9 with Cork, 2 seconds up the road, and about 8 seconds up the road from him is Vesterga. Hussein hasn't gone away yet though, he's still running P10. 4 seconds behind. That's Minderhood, very wild around the left-hander here. Now Kevin Minderhood and Neil Baslia, they do have history. Minderhood and Baslia seem to have magnets that attract. All I can hear is probably what's going on in Baslia's head. Blue flag, blue flag. 2 seconds pace advantage. The car's ahead, Baslia. Dirty Air won't be doing him any favours. Nice and tight to the apex. Lovely exit.
Blue flags really need to think about letting Baslia go, but they too are fighting for position. P20, P19. Rodriguez off on the left. Too wide. This is going to be scaring Baslia somewhat. As Yvoral does obey the blue flag, so Kevin does the same. He does. Yeah, he does. Well done. Just wanted to get that battle sealed. Whoa, kind of fine. Binderhood and Yvoral really fighting behind him. I don't think I can get to that quick enough to witness. Binderhood looking for the switchback. Oh, Yvoral squeezing Binderhood to the outside. Hard but fair racing between the two. Happening at the top of the table. Temenga 7 seconds back on Williams. Williams sitting in sort of no man's land on his own in P3. Higa has pulled away from Warner. Those fresher tyres putting some work in. So you'd think now that is a monster fastest lap. 31.4 race pace is kind of crazy. Baslia now looking to chase Cork. Boschian and Hivrich. Hivrich going way too deep. You're trying to hold the line. Boschian going through. Drive through for Vesterga. That's very unfortunate. That will drop him back outside of the top 10, I believe. Baslia now chasing down the Greek of Cork in that Porsche. Very late on the brake. So, this, if Baslia gets this move down, this will put him up into 7th with that issue from Vesterga. That doesn't write off his championship hopes. Will score points, it will put him back. Still a few races to go. Big moment from Cork. Over the curb. Look for the exit, Baslia. That Porsche is quick in a straight line, but Baslia does have the slipstream. He is looking for the move. Tries to fake him to go deep. That's good defensive driving from Cork to hold his line. Baslia sends it down the inside and gets the move done. Very well done indeed. So Dudek looking to be around 27 seconds up the road. That's going to be a step, excuse me, too far for Baslia, I believe. Unless something does happen, unless drive-throughs are picked up. Looks like based on the lap times, Warner's undercut pace has started to leave him. The tyres starting to lose their rubber. 32.5 from Williams, taking half a second out of Warner, but 15 minutes to go. We'll need more than that. Just an off track there from Williams. Temenga 33.3, so he doesn't look like he has the pace to catch Williams either. Harao put in a strong 32.9. Now how far off the back of Temenga is he? Too far. But it does look That Dudek is chasing Hero for that P6, so let's stay on board with him. So Dudek put lots and lots of pressure on the Porsche in 5th place. Really maximising the track, Dudek, to get that exit in the last corner. Off the track there. Does lift slightly to try and avoid penalty. 32.8, so almost 7 tenths off the 92 Porsche that lap. Looks like he does have the pace. Porsche going deep there. See if oh, very deep to do that, very late on the brakes. That'll cost him a bit of time. So after serving his drive-through, Sturger has come out in P13, but the cars ahead aren't too far ahead. 4, 5, 6 seconds. Could potentially worm his way back up into P11, P10 by the end of the race. No reason why he can't, the pace is shown today. Robert running very strong in P14. Yeah, really still, if the Sturger pulls his finger out and Carsteep making mistakes like Boss does, no reason why he can't really get in that top 10. Just keep an eye on that. Not 100% sure, but since the pit stop, Temenga has lost a fair bit of time. Harao and Dudek are closer than they were. Dudek still pushing at 4 P5. Let's see how Sturger's doing as he attempts to close the pack and recover some points from that drive-through. But 2 seconds almost, a second and a half off the car in front. So if he does the same again, he'll be right on the back of him, start on the next lap. Let's check in with Baslia and see if there's any positions to gain. Nope. But Cork has only lost 2 seconds to Baslia since the overtake. Cork showing good pace. One little moment from Baslia, and that P7 could be Cork's again. Williams still sitting in no man's land. That'll be P3 if he keeps driving like this. So, touching his point tally at the top of the table. Liga has looked tremendous today in P1. Hasn't looked back all race. No issues. Drive through for track limits for the 15 car. I think that's one of our, yeah, that's Rodriguez. Goes from bad to worse for him, a day he'd like to forget. 33.6 for Baslia, 34.2, so Baslia is starting to pull from Cork. Dudek still looking to pass her out. The issue with that is the top speed of the Porsche out of the corners. Very strong. And the BMW not the most agile beast. Good on the brakes though, it seems. So Versterga has got past the number 7 Ferrari of Iverich. 4.5 seconds away from marking that Mustang. Boss 1 second up the road too. So within 6 seconds, 3 possible positions for Versterga. If he can keep up this pace. See if Dudek can find a move and make it stick as Rodriguez comes out of the pits. Dudek really trying to get in the head. Raul just on the inside. Raul leaving him just enough space. That is a good driving from the pair. We do have a battle on here. Dudek looking very neat and tidy out of the corners. Really pushing it. If he does have a moment coming out of the corner, Dudek will be there to pounce. Nice correction there from Dudek to save the car. He's always very deep into that corner. Don't know if that's intentional. Just trying to put Herao off or just losing his brake marker. Oh, they've done very well not to come together there. I think that looks for the inside, but I probably have to back off, and he does. Tries to compromise the exit of Herao. Probably compromises his own. This will be frustrating for him. Still 7 minutes to go. With 5 laps left, potentially. Cannot count or do math, so it's 4 at least. Dudek looking super on the straight, but just not enough of the straight for him. He does put sector 1 together very nicely. Snap back on the Porsche ahead. Let's see if Dudek takes the same line into this left-hander. Or tries to keep it tighter. I think he'll do well to keep it tighter. And there we go. Probably just missing his brake marker. Penalty for the 95 car. That's one of the bottom runners again. Yeah, that's Traversan, unfortunately. That's unlucky for him. Baslia getting away from Cork, so it looks like P7 secured for him. Versterga struggling to make time up on Boss. Oh, no. Boss has had a moment, I believe. Yeah, and lost the position to Mark. So Mark is running quite quickly. Very close. Boss really pushing it. It's a bit too early on the throttle. This will help Versterga as big send down the inside. Does hold it. More good racing. Now, what will happen here? Yep. Does overshoot it. Mustang goes for the switchback. Boss will have to stay on the inside. This will take him deep, and Mark will get the switchback, and that Mustang is strong on the straight. Oh, Mark choosing to try and go through him instead of around him, which is an odd choice. Could have had the inside there. I'm not sure that was the right idea there from Mark. He will probably send it now on the inside. Nope, thinks better of it. Very interesting decision there from Mark. Feel like he gave that position away a bit easier. Did have the slipstream and the straight line speed of the Mustang and chose to bump draft instead of making the move. I'm very confused. There is a couple of track limits coming up now. I think it's more for our bottom runners. Yeah, everyone in the hood. We're coming in. I think Mark is blue flagged. I would like to see a bit more aggression from Mark in the future. Now let's go see how Dudek's doing. Bear with me. Still trying his best to catch the Porsche 92 car for out. Has been at this gap for pretty much the whole of the second stint. I do find the Porsche to be one of the hardest. The 123 car, that's Bruce picking up a drive-through. It's caught a lot of people out tonight. Does get the move done on the straight. That BMW, a lot of power by the time you get to the end of it, but her out, not giving in so easily. Beautiful move around the outside. This will be frustrating, Dudek. Checking with Vesterga, has closed the gap. All that battling between Boss and Mark. Again, Mark, I am a bit disappointed. Maybe he's happy with 11th, but I feel like he let Boss Yan go through a bit too easily. Tamenga maintaining his gap. Slia holding 7th quite comfortably. Another drive through. That's it's the same one, I believe. Yeah. Eagle looking very strong. 31.4, I think, is miles quicker than anyone else on the track today. That's not good for Rodriguez. Let's hope he has a safe rejoin here. That might be a tote. Anyway, let's go to where it matters. Something has happened to Dudek. 5 seconds back, so I think that's his challenge done. I'm not sure what has happened. That was a very good battle. See if Mark tries to make the comeback on Voshan, who is now on the back of Hussein. So we have a three-way battle here for P11, P10, P9. Again, this could aid Vesterga, and Robert has worked his way up to 13 and is right off the back of Vesterga, so he has also found some pace. 5 tenths the gap between Robert and Vesterga. I think there might just be one more lap left. Oh, that's bad from Mark. Late on the brake. He will not take the position from Jan. That will frustrate Jan. He now has the rear damage. What? I don't know what's happening. I don't know why Mark keeps going to the right when he could take the left. That's some sloppy driving. Really sloppy driving. Looks like Robert has overtaken Versterga. So, don't think I need to stay on board for Liga for this win. I think that's all but done. But I do want to see what happens here between Versterga and Robert. Last lap of the race. Still gobsmacked at what I just witnessed between Mark and Boss. So there we have it. That is the end of the race. We saw Liga take P1. That's another win for him. That's the second of the season. Warner, huge result for Warner in P2. He'll take that today. Williams again P3. So those two will top the table. In which order I do not know. Baslia, damage limitations at the end there. Comes home in P6. After being all the way down, I believe, in 20th place. So great recovery drive. He ensures that he still stays in the battle also. And Temenga always there. Looks like it will be Harel P5. Great result. Unfortunately, Dudak fell all the way down to P8 from P6. I'm not sure what happened to him. He had a great race. Great battle with Harel. Did not see what happened. Cork P7. That's a fantastic result. Hussein bringing it in P9. Boss P10. Mark, unfortunately, P11. Bit of afters between those two. Not sure what that was about. Robert P12. He did get past Versterga in the last few laps after a great initial drive from Versterga. Hivrich P14. Richards 15. And Niels 16th. And the drivers below, unfortunately, picking up many a drive through. Tough one, Valencia. I hate this track. It's very difficult. It's very technical. So the points will be tallied. We will see who sits top of the table. We will have a new points leader. I think it may be Warner. Might even be equal at the top after today. I'm not sure where we are next week, but we will catch you next Monday. Thank you, everyone. This has been Fats GT. Catch you all soon.